Hello again, Dwayne Huff, Band Leadership Seminars. In this video, I want to share something with you that I didn't know at the time when I shared it would resonate so much, not only with students, but with band directors when they heard it. And it's something that kind of steps outside of band leadership, but it serves you, not only now, but throughout your life as well. And the band directors have really said, Dwayne, that's a great message. You need to share that with all students because they're facing that right now. So without further ado, here's what it is. When I go into high schools and colleges to do keynote presentations or assemblies, my focus of my message really comes down to what it is that you want to accomplish when you graduate from high school or college. Because not a lot of people will tell you or share with you. In fact, whenever I was where you are, I wish somebody would have sat me down and said, Dwayne, I've been designated to help you figure out exactly, where you are and where you want to be in life. Figure it out. What do you want to be when you grow up, right? But nobody ever did that for me. And so I ended up writing a book about it, Write Your Own Ticket. And after you hear this, if you want a copy, just let me know. I'll send you a free copy in e-format, but you'll get the whole thing. Just let me know. But the bottom line is this. You're sitting there at, if you're in high school, you're sitting there at 14, 15 years old, and your parents are starting to say, you need to figure out what you're going to do when you graduate. Well, let me just pause for this second. Let's go back in your life. Think about this for a second. Whenever you were younger, your parents would ask you, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? And you'd say things like astronaut or scientist or doctor or ballerina. In fact, on one of the Twilight movies, I think there's, she does her commencement address. Don't ask me how I know about Twilight. I love Twilight. My wife tricked me into it, okay? So I read all the books and watched the movies. Don't judge me. I know, too late. But the point being is that she goes into that whole dissertation about, you're at this age, how are we supposed to know this is a time to make mistakes and make errors? And it's a great speech, to be sure. And it was inspiring. And part of it, I think she's absolutely right. But the reality of the situation is when we were young and they asked us what we wanted to do, we told them and they said, that's cute, that's great, that's wonderful. But now, at 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, or if you're in college, it's really starting to breathe down your neck. People are starting to say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what are you going to do whenever you graduate? And when you say things like, I want to be an entrepreneur, or I want to start my own thing, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to be an engineer, or I want to own a company, or whatever it is, the more lofty your dreams and the more ambitious your dreams, the more pushback you get. And you hear things like, well, that's not realistic. You need to find a real job. Or you need college students. You hear this all the time, and I know you absolutely hate it. If you're anything like me, you hear, find something to fall back on. And what a dumb piece of advice to give somebody. Find something to fall back on. As leaders, we are not conditioned to fall back on anything. And just by the very nature of people saying, find something to fall back on. Now, I know that they're good intentions, and I know that your parents mean well, and your teachers mean well, and your friends mean well, but let's reshape that for a second. And what I want to share is never find something to fall back on. Don't do it. But when you hear people say that, rewind that in your mind and hear it this way. Find something that is going to fund the path to your dreams. Because whether it's college, whether it's becoming a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, a teacher, a business owner, an entrepreneur, starting a nonprofit, whatever the case is, the reality of the situation is it's going to take money. And unless you borrow it or get an angel investor or a venture capitalist to fund your project or your parents to fund your college, whatever the case is, it's going to take money. So find something that's going to fund the path to your dream, if anything. But here's what I would tell you right now. And whenever I was sitting where you guys are sitting, whether that's high school or college, I had a vision, a goal, and a dream to do exactly what I'm doing today. But I listened to people tell me find something to fall back on. I listened to people tell me that's not realistic, find something that's going to make a living. I listened to people say go get a real job. And when I was 32 years old, I finally started to make this happen in less than 4.5 years later, which it shouldn't have taken that long. But I was still carrying that junk with me. I was able to step off and do this full time. So here's what I'm telling you from my own personal experience, and I'm going to make a guarantee with it. Whatever you're passionate about, Maybe it's music for you. Maybe it's science for you. Maybe it's entrepreneurship for you. I don't know what it is. Maybe your aspiration is to work for Google or for Amazon, or maybe you never want to work for a company and you just want to be independent and do your own thing. I don't care what it is. Here's some sound advice that not many people are going to give you, because number one, the world's shifting and changing faster than it ever has before, and they don't know how to give you this information. And even if they could, they still feel like it is risky. But as I say that more and more, this is becoming your space. So I want to encourage you today, whatever you're passionate about, give it everything you've got. Here's why. Here's why that's a good idea. Back in 1990, whenever I graduated from high school, college, 1996, goodness gracious. Anyway, I graduated when I was 3. So, time flies. But it might not have been a good idea to tell people, find something you're passionate about and pursue it. But here's why that's a good idea today, because 2 things will end up happening. Like me, whenever I was 15 years old, saw Dr. Tim speak for the first time, a dream was born in me to do exactly what he does, that type of work. Here I am today doing it. But I should have started that process when I was 15, not when I was 32. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is get everybody else out of your head. Nobody's walked in your shoes. Nobody's lived the life you've lived. Nobody has the passion you have. Nobody has seen and heard and experienced what you've heard. So they can only guide you so much. My parents were absolutely wonderful. They still are. I have a great relationship with them. But my dad's an engineer. And engineers are conditioned to think reason and logic and to do everything inside the box. Never to experiment, never to improvise. And my mom, as wonderful as a mom as she is and has always been, and even an amazing grandmother, only knew so much about the workforce because of the choices that she made and decided to go on. So there's only so much advice that she could give me. My professors in college, my teachers in high school encouraged me, but on some level, I allowed them to hold me back because they could only see so far. But if you pursue your passion, here's why that's a good idea. Because number one, like me when I was 15 years old, it's going to open the door to what, if you will commit to it and go, you will end up hitting that goal. I eventually did. But even if you don't, it's going to open a door to you that's even greater than what you see right now. And it's going to lead you down the future that is right for you. So whenever I was 15, I was passionate about music and passionate about the saxophone. I had no idea about this leadership thing or about a speaker. But because I pursued my passion of music, it brought me to that place with Dr. Tim where a door could be opened that I never suspected. And I'm more passionate about this than I am about music. I still play, I still love to play, but I chose not to make it my profession. I chose to make this my profession. And what I'm here to say to you is that you're either going to hit the goal or the target that you set for yourself, or a door is going to open and lead you down the direction you're supposed to go. So be passionate. Here's why. Because the world might not need what you're passionate about. Because if you're going to make a living, you've got to find something you're passionate about, something the world wants, and something that will make money. And when those merge, you can make a very, very good living. In today's age, there's enough people, and with the internet, you can find and make your own thing. But here's what I will say. What the world does need is people who are absolutely passionate about what they do, because it draws people to them. And all opportunity comes through other people. I'll give you a case in point. Whenever I was in pharmaceutical sales for 8 years, and so I would go into these doctors' offices. And I didn't necessarily connect with everybody like I wanted to, and sometimes that was a little uncomfortable. But one day I realized, wait a minute, I play in a band. These people love to party. Let me invite them to come see me play. And where before I did that, I was just another salesperson to these people, the moment they saw me on stage, passionate about what I did outside of the context of that environment, saw me as a human being, the next time I went into that office, it was like we were best friends. Here's why I share that with you. Because whatever you're passionate about, whatever you've just ignited yourself about, whatever gives you energy and strength and makes you your best person, that's what you want to put forward. Because no matter what you do after that, people will be drawn to you. And that builds trust and awareness and a likability that will open doors for you now and in the future. So what I invite you to do today is find out what you're passionate about. Live that, pursue that, give it everything you've got, and then find a way to get paid to do it. They say a career should be something you love so much that you do it for free, but you do it so well that people will pay you to do it. That's exactly what's happened in my life, and there's many examples in today's world where that happens. So you have, in my estimation, two choices. You can go down the path that other people are telling you to go, find yourself 10, 15, 20 years down the road completely miserable going, how did I end up here? I had a dream, but I never pursued it. Or you can make a decision right now to be committed to what it is you're passionate about and give every effort and diligence you have to figuring out how to make that a viable income. The world's changed. Going to high school, then to college, getting a good education, and tying yourself to a company for the rest of your life in hopes of making a great living and some security and benefits is gone. It's done. Do not let anybody tell you that that's the way things work today. I've seen way too many people be laid off and let go because they held so fast to what they should be doing, what they ought to do. You have opportunity in front of you. As a leader, it's your responsibility to say, you know what? I'm not going to settle for the status quo. I'm not going to settle for the norm. I am going to make a difference in this world. It's what we're called to do. And I wanted to share this with you because, like I said, when I travel to different high schools and colleges and give this message, great, they get to hear it. But so many people don't. And I think it's so important that you hear this message. So if you like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Share this with somebody who you believe needs to hear this message. And if you would like a copy of my book, Write Your Own Ticket, please leave a comment. Shoot me an email is the best way to do it, Dwayne@rdwaynehuff.com. Or send me a direct message here, wherever you're watching this, and I should get it. And I'll send it over to you. It won't be a hard copy, it'll be a digital copy, but you get the whole thing, and it will start you on the path to pursuing whatever dream you have, no matter what that looks like. And I'll help you go from where you are to where you truly want to be. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, do that, because as I crank out these new videos, I want you to see them. Ask a question below. If you have a suggestion about what you would like to hear, let me know. I read them all myself, and I can produce some good video content for you to serve you. If you haven't gotten the free videos that help you develop as a student leader, you can get those at my website, bandleadership.net or bandleadershipseminars.com. I'll send those over to you. And there's also a brand new leadership assessment. So if you're thinking about being a leader, but you're not one yet, and you want to be, this may help you to know if it's a right fit for you. And there's 2 videos that kind of supplement that. So way too much information in this video, but at the end of the day, find what you're passionate about. Find out a way to make a living doing it, and you'll never work a day in your life. I can guarantee you that. So until we talk next time, remember, inspire superior performance, not just in the band, but in life and with everybody around you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.